And welcome here to another edition of Recruit Spotlight on Husker Online. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, as always. Recruit Spotlight brought to you by Tanner Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, and Lincoln. They're the presenting sponsor that brings us these exclusive interviews as we get to talk to some of the top recruits in the country. And we've got a number of guys here in town from one of the top high school programs in the country, Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman. We're pleased to welcome in Xander Ruggeroli out of Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman. Did I get it right? That's the first question I got to ask you. Did I get that name right, Xander?
You did get it right.
He nailed the name. Do the coaches do a good job with that name?
They got used to it. They did get it right eventually down the road, but they have it nailed now.
Well, tell your story, because it's a fascinating one. I mean, you're in the recruiting world. You're somewhat of a late blooming prospect that's started to get a lot of notoriety. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were kind of once looked at as more a basketball guy, and you've become a pretty sought after Division I football prospect.
Yes, sir. Until my second year, I did basketball full time until my sophomore year, and then I slowly started taking football more seriously. And it wasn't until my junior year I stopped playing basketball and made football more of my priority and just put in hours upon hours.
Why did you make football your priority?
Just looking at it, if I knew I wasn't going to grow to, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", and I thought football would have a better path to my career, or to a career, I should say. So I think that was a better path. That
makes sense.
Well, and there's some advantages. Being a basketball player, I'm sure your footwork is ahead of most linemen. How much has, being a basketball guy kind of helped your footwork and other things that made you maybe a better football player?
Explosiveness was a really big thing. Just in basketball, we train our legs a lot. Not really much our arms, but our legs to explode. And getting off the ball just came to more of a second nature. Pass pro too. My feet were always really good.
Xander, what do you think? Okay, you came out here. What did you expect when you came to Nebraska, and how much did your expectations match up with what you actually saw?
I was expecting a good game, but when I came out here, the energy was live. Like, I was getting goosebumps. Maybe it was from the cold, but the energy was there.
Yeah.
But the energy, like, you could feel it in your skins and your blood. It was a really cool experience, and the team played amazing.
Yep. How much has Nebraska? I mean, they offered you a long time ago, but what has been your correspondence with them over the last several months to kind of get you out here to Lincoln for a game this week?
After our first 5 games, they started talking to me a lot. So, and I did like Coach Raiola a lot, even back before. So I wanted to come out here, meet all the other coaches, have my experience, and just see what Nebraska's about.
What is it about Coach Raiola? Why's your chemistry good?
I think mostly just because my line coach is good. It's like they're like brothers. So they're like the same. I have a really good connection with my O-line coach.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this. You play for Bishop Gorman, one of the top high school programs in the country. We've been able to do a lot of interviews with prospects from some of the top programs in the country, like Mater Dei, other places like Gorman. I mean, what is it like at a place like Bishop Gorman? I got to imagine just the day-to-day competitiveness with so many Division I guys and kind of everyone chasing common goals. I mean, what's the day-to-day football culture like at a place like Bishop Gorman?
It's very fun at a lot of times, but a lot of times you need to know to put in the work and focus and grind and not have a lot of fun. Like, there's some days where we can joke around, have fun, but there's other days where we have to put in the work. And that's a lot of the days where we're on the field for 2 hours, then in the gym for another hour, and then we have recovery after that.
Where do you excel most, pass blocking or run blocking?
I would say my pass blocking I am better in, but there's just some plays where I like to get after it on run blocking.
Okay, good.
And it feels so good. Just
what?
Just run blocking, putting guys on the ground.
There you go.
What I mean, how many official visits have you been on, and kind of what what's the big picture look right now of your recruiting process? I mean, as you kind of size in as signing day, and you might be a guy that waits till February. I mean, but what do things look like for you right now?
So I haven't taken any officials yet. I've taken unofficial to ASU, and here I took one to Pittsburgh and USC. And to me right now, I like Fresno, ASU, Nebraska. Nebraska is lovely. And Wazoo a lot. I like Wazoo. I'm trying to get somebody planned out to go out there.
Now, I got to ask you this because when I talked to your mom, she mentioned that she's been to a Nebraska game before and that you might have been in her stomach at a Nebraska game. So was it kind of funny to be back in Lincoln with your mom, knowing that she had been in the stadium with you many, many years ago?
That's what I was kind of thinking. When we got up there, she was teasing me a little bit about it, about how I was in her stomach, 18 years ago, which was kind of weird, but
kind of weird. I wonder what game that was.
Now
you're covering it, Sean.
Your dad, is he in the casino industry or?
He's a player host at Aria. It's pretty much all I know. I don't really know much that he does, except that he just goes to work, makes money. I've
been to Aria. That's a. Hopefully, you get to enjoy the food at that place.
How are you with attending college away from the West Coast?
Oh, I'd be fine with it. Like, I don't know. I'm not somewhere that needs to be close, I guess. If that makes any sense.
What has Nebraska told you kind of where you stand with them as kind of things move forward?
From the conversations today, it seems like they like me a lot. So I hopefully want to continue that relationship.
What were your kind of big takeaways from the scene and the game? What'd you think today from what you saw on the field?
They played hard. Even though they had 2 or 3 guys injured from the O-line, they played hard. Like there was a freshman left guard. He played well for a freshman.
Yep.
Especially in a game like this.
Yep.
Well, Xander, we appreciate you, Xander, for joining us here on Recruit Spotlight, and hopefully you stayed warm out there and enjoyed your time here in Lincoln.
Sir, thank you.
Good job.
Right. Thanks to Xander Ruggeroli for joining us here on Recruit Spotlight. Once again, Recruit Spotlight brought to you by Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180 in Lincoln. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan signing off here for another edition of Recruit Spotlight.